What's up, guys? It is May 24th, 2020. It is probably close to about 8 o'clock. Yeah, well, 8:30. And yeah, I just had a wild hair at my butt and decided to go catfishing this evening. It's a nice evening. Had some storms today, so I was kind of holding off, trying to see what the weather's going to do. Now I think it's finally clearing out of here, so we're going to try a little bit of catfishing here on the south end of Smithville. We got a little smorgasbord of bait, mostly shad and bluegill, so we're going to see what we can do. We're going to get this bimini top down. I put it up mainly to dry it out, and two, just in case we run into a little shower or two, but it looks like it's pretty much clearing out of here. So the water temperature is about close to 70 degrees actually back here. We're in about 5 to 6 foot or less of water right here, so but yeah, the depth finder said about 68 degrees, so we're gonna give her a shot and see what we can do. It's pretty calm out right now. Got a lot of geese around us. There's a lot more water in this part of the lake down here at the south end than there was last year, but as far as I can tell, the catfish are still in the shallows, in the really shallows. So I got back here as shallow as I could, all the way across here where these stumps are, where I normally tie up. It's about, like I said, about 6 to 8 foot or around there. I got over close to this bank off to the edge here, on the south end edge, and we're going to try jump kind of along that outside bank down there. As you can see, there's a little bank down there and it's a bunch of grass and stuff. So with that, we can kind of scatter the baits in different depths, so we'll be a little deeper off to my left, so we'll just kind of fan them out and see what we can do. So let's get after it. I'm going to put this bimini top down and get some bait cut and get some poles in the water, so stay tuned, guys. First fish. Oh, I hope he's swimming to us. Yeah, he just got off. Yep, he got off. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Good old baby bluegill side. Cast it back out there and try it again. Got the old bait clicker on. On some of these. Turn that light on there, we can see a little more. Yeah, like I said, I've got a smorgasbord of bait out here. A little bit of bluegill and shad mainly. There's a big shad in there and a little shad, and got some bluegill fillets, bluegill heads, chunks, and shad chunks and shad fillets. So that's basically all I'm using. I'll be honest, that fish, I would have caught that fish, but I was wrestling around with my phone trying to get it to turn on. darn thing kept not recognizing my fingerprint. I use a fingerprint on my phone to open it, and I was trying to hook that fish or feel him while I was wrestling around with that, and I heard him tug a couple good times, and I had him. I think he had plenty of time to unhook himself, so way it goes sometimes. So stay tuned, we'll try to get on another one. Really don't know how the fishing's going to be tonight, but we'll see. There's been a coon over here chasing fish off the bank here. Oh, there's a bite. And we had either an otter or a beaver swim right here in front of us. So it's gotten pretty humid here in Missouri. We're finally getting the hotter days coming in. I brought so many poles because I had planned on going to the station there in Trimble and getting some worms to fish for some bluegill, because I thought about trying my luck for flatheads, but that slipped my mind. So I think he's getting a little bit more out of it. I figured it was in his mouth. Fish on. South End, Smithville. Kind of slow, but hey, night fishing, I don't really expect it. I'm just out here to relax and catch a few fish if I can. Pretty decent fish. Hanging on and having the net ready. This one's that good. Just flip it out. Walmart nets don't work that way though. That's a good fish. There we got it, finally. Hey, he's a fatty. Just barely hooked him too. Now look at this hook set. I mean, it is just barely on his lip up there. There he is. There she is, whatever it is. Pretty decent fish. Beautiful. Definitely pretty. Had the live well filled up, it's probably keeper, so I ain't gonna fill the live well up for getting fish like that, or a little smaller. That's probably a 3 or 4 pounder there. Got blood on the seat. So far, night fishing ain't bad. We ain't skunked yet, or we ain't skunked. Sorry, sometimes I've got too many things going on in my brain. I'm a one at a time kind of guy. I got so many things going on in my brain that I can't talk right, so bear with me, guys. I'm not the smartest individual. Try this old shad tail here. That's all that is. Just cut a shad in half and then cut the tail off. I do that way it'll kind of put the scent out there a little better on both ends of the bait. And I'll also descale them, so I take all the scales off. That kind of gets their oils and stuff worked up a lot better. Alright, fish one. Well, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna see if we can't get on another one. I'm gonna try to fill this live well and stuff up. I'd like to take a little bit of fish home, so stay tuned, and we will be back hopefully with another one here soon, so stay with me, guys. Sure tugging on it pretty good before I picked it up. Oh, he may have taken the bait too, I don't know. I know it's a little dark, I can't really show you guys, but I've got pretty much a smorgasbord of rods and reels. You've watched any of my other videos, but in case you guys are just tuning in. To my left, the one I was just having bites on, I think it's a yellow Ozark rod on a Piscifin. That's the brand, Piscifin 60. And then the next one is a Denali rod. Ooh, I just got a bite on the one next to the Denali. He might be on. Yep. There's fish. They reel's kind of loose for some reason. Decent fish. This one on the Denali, I guess it's a Denali rod with a Piscifin 50, a smaller version. This one is a Rippin' Lips rod with a gotta keep an eye on my other rods while I'm trying to get this one unhooked. There we go. There he is. I'll tell you what, I might hang on to this one. This is a pretty good fish. It's a pretty good eater. Beautiful. I mean, these gentle cat in this lake are beautiful. Every once in a while, you'll catch one that's, you know, it's got some, oh, what do you call them, leeches or whatever on them. I usually throw them back. I know a lot of people don't, or say that those don't bother, or those don't hurt you anyway once you cook them. But beautiful fish like this is very, very good eating. I can guarantee it. Guess I can hold it up a little higher so you guys can see it. But this is probably about the same size as the other one, I think. 2 to 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. Beautiful fish. Beautiful, beautiful. Yep, I think we'll hang on to her. Settle down now, girl. Well, I think I'm going to throw that one back out and give it a few more minutes and probably move up north just a little bit and stick in this cove because they're in here. I mean, there's pretty good fish in here and beautiful fish. So, oh, but anyway, back to explaining what I've got. I've got on the Rippin' Lips rod is a Abu Garcia 6500. Usually the Old Faithful, but I've been finding out here lately they have not been lasting as long as they used to. Those are reviews from my other buddies. This one so far has treated me well, but so I'm gonna hang on to it till it crashes. So, and then I think I've got this one's I believe a Shakespeare Eagle Claw on actually a spin casting open phase rod. That's actually what I started out with catfishing with. You know, when I really got into catfishing, I bought one of those reels, and I've had it ever since. And that's another Old Faithful. I believe it's a Shakespeare as well. And then I've got another Rippin' Lips rod with a Bass Pro Shops Cat Max, and it's got the 5:2:1 gear ratio on it. I love the reels, but here just this last year I've had a little bit of troubles with it because I can't quote you on exactly what it's called, but it's the rod that goes across that your line feeder or line spooler sits on. It actually came off on one side, and so when you reel it, when that spoiler comes over to one side and then kicks back to the other side, it takes it out, but it doesn't make it unusable, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use it until it crashes as well. So, and then I've got, darn it, I can't remember what this other rod is, but it's actually a little bit too heavy for what I'm fishing for out here. But it's mainly a river rod, and I've actually got an Abu Garcia 7000 catfish special on it. I run usually all medium heavy rods, 7-foot rods, pretty much on everything. So, and the line that I use on everything I have, everybody's got their own preference, but I use Cajun line red, the red Cajun line 20-pound test on everything. To me, it's the best there is for catfishing. I mean, honestly. I mean, yeah, for the river, you want to use something a little heavier, but if you're lake catfishing, minus any, if you have any burrs or something in it, that stuff is incredibly strong. I've had times where, in fact, just this past weekend, I took a buddy of mine catfishing, and I got snagged, and I walked clear to the front of the boat trying to break this line, and when it finally snapped, it didn't snap at the hook. It snapped somewhere in between there, and it sounded like a gun going off. I mean, it was so loud. It was just incredible. This stuff is incredibly strong as long as it doesn't have any burrs on it. What I do before I even throw a rod or a line in the water, I'll check that line, down towards the end, towards the hook, and probably about 6 or 7 foot up, and just feeling it. And if you feel any nicks, or what I call burrs, in the line, cut that off, retie your hook, and you're good to go. My hook and weight setup, I use a 2-ounce weight with either a 9 or an 8-aught Cat Max circle hooks on all my stuff as well. So, yeah, that's kind of a gear summary of everything I use. So, and my hook and weight setup, I mean, like I said, everybody's got their own way of catfishing. I run my weight clear down to the hook. I just put the weight on. I don't tie the weight off or none of that. Look, I'm getting a bite on the nollie rod. I just put the weight on there, and then I tie the hook on there, and that weight slides clear down to the hook. And I don't have any trouble with that, and it makes it 10 times quicker when you're retying your hooks. My theory is when it hits the water, your hook and your weight kind of separate because your weight is heavier, so that's going to hit the ground before your hook does. So that, and when I used to catfish, that's what I used to do. I used to separate the hook and the weight. I'll tie the weight off somewhere and run a leader or whatever. My problem is when you do that, you can see your line just helicoptering out there. And to me, that's just more of a pain in the butt. Getting a bite on the eagle claw as well. But yeah, like I said, that's just a pain in the butt to me, and it takes longer to retie everything. This way, you're back in the water in 5 minutes or less. Actually, way less than 5 minutes after you get everything set and done. You cut the line off the old hook or whatever. He's about to set the clicker off. But yeah, when I look for a rod as well, I like to look for the stainless steel eyelets on all the rods that I own, on the medium heavies, because you get them ones that's got the plastic inserts on the eyelets, they don't last as long. When you keep this stuff out here in the water, or when you're fishing in the sun or whatever, that stuff just depreciates every day, and eventually you're just going to go down to bare metal. And if you look at those eyelets, I mean, it's just like a knife cutting your line. Here we go. Let's check the clicker off on that one. So I look for the thick stainless steel eyelets on all my rods, if I can find them. And I've had pretty good luck with, you know, as far as my fishing rods and fishing gear lasting. And every once in a while, I've got a can called Real Magic. It's in a little can. Now I'm getting a bite on the ripping lips log, 6500. But I'll put that stuff on when I put new line on, and it helps with line memory, which line memory is when you uncoil your line off the spool. When you're putting line on a rod, your line will actually just coil, and that helps with that. You know, that way when you're casting out, you don't have a bunch of these loops and knots and stuff come out. That and that Real Magic, it helps with sun fading as well. It doesn't. It's kind of like a sunscreen for your line. So it's pretty good stuff. I just spray it, you know, on the reel, straight on the line, and it does a pretty good job. That way you're not messing with your gear half the time when you're out here, when you're trying to cast or whatever. You know, I like to go out fishing and try to worry less about my gear breaking or whatever, so I can focus more on fishing. You know, that's the main goal out here. May have either scared him off or just bait. We're going to find out here in a minute. But anyway, that's a kind of a summary and review on my gear, on everything I use. And yeah, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments if you have any questions about anything I have. I'd be more than happy to give you guys any information you'd like to know. You know, I'm not an expert cat fisherman or anything like that, but I can surely help with any questions you guys have. So, well, stay tuned. We're going to give this about 5 more minutes, and we're going to move up to another spot, and I think we're going to call tonight. So I'm just kind of after a few more fish. If I don't catch any more fish, I'm going to let this one go. That's kind of a rule in my boat. We only catch or keep one fish. Because so far we've caught 2, but I didn't have the live well ready, and that first one was, I thought was going to be a little big, but I wanted to get this live well ready, so it seemed like they were biting good. So we might end up with a few more fish and have a good start of a dinner. So we'll keep at it.